Senior Moments, sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group on News Talk KVNU, 102 FM and 610 AM.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Senior Moment Show. My name is Bryce Patton, here with Sid Roeder. How are you, Sid?
I'm doing great. How about you, Bryce?
I'm lovely. It's a good week, you know?
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but it felt like a good week. So we have a wonderful guest and into some pretty interesting topics here to give people some choices and maybe a different perspective. But before we dive into our guest, would you mind telling us about our sponsor?
Absolutely. Our sponsor is the Empowering Seniors Group, which is a group of professionals that has dedicated their time and effort to provide information to seniors, family members, and really anyone that cares, and we do so via this radio show. If you'd like to learn more about the Empowering Seniors Group, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info. Okay, you can email us at empoweringseniorscv@gmail.com, and the CV stands for Cache Valley. And lastly, if you have any suggestions for this show, anyone you would like to see us invite, you can call me personally at 435-512-6406.
Oh, thank you for doing that. Okay, we have Adam Tripp with us from Achievement Realty and Property Management. Adam, for our listeners, would you mind just kind of introducing yourself and what you do and why you do it?
Yeah, absolutely. As I like to put it, I'm your trip to a new place. And I provide a multitude of services. So not only the real estate side, but I also manage the property management side. So that's everything from maintaining a property, short-term rentals, medium-term rentals, long-term rentals. We have a gamut of different services that fit different needs.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, so one thing that we were talking about before the show is that oftentimes as we age and different things, we're looking for different housing options. Sometimes we feel like we need to make a decision right now and go with it. But it sounds like you have some options for people that they might be able to try out different things before they make that final decision. Can you kind of go into that process?
Yes, absolutely. We are the solution for that, ooh, do I really want to do this? Gut feeling that sometimes happens. So we could provide a opportunity for you to transition to a different type of housing type, and we would maintain your property, whether you just want us to handle the maintenance, you want us to find a tenant in a long-term, short-term, or medium-term. Depending on where your property is located, we could really customize it to fit the best needs financially and for you.
Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons why I asked Adam to join us today, because we've talked a lot about assisted living and independent living in our previous radio shows, but we've never really talked about the fact that many seniors, as anyone, has sometimes struggles with change. And just to set out an example there, I did have a client and she sold her home in the anticipation to move into an independent living facility. Thought that was a great solution, but was cautious and decided to only do a 3-month contract just to try it out and see how it is. Then ended up feeling like that was not quite there yet for her, and she actually wanted to purchase another home, which she did, and everything was happy. But experiencing that, I realized that sometimes I think seniors don't realize that there really are some fantastic options that property management can bring, because I've had clients that have considered going down to St. George, and even that move bears its challenges. And so you could, one of the things you could do is you could hop into a rental in St. George and rent your house out at the same time and this is where I'm getting back to you, Adam. What are maybe you've touched on short-term rentals, medium-term rentals, and long-term rentals. Maybe for our listeners, elaborate a little bit on those.
Yeah, so a short-term rental is going to be something under a 30-day stay. So that's going to be your short-term, very much like a hotel, check-in, check-out situations. With most of our senior housing that we've managed, you're looking at medium-term rentals. Those are anything from 30 days through 3 to 6 months, where your long-term rentals would be an entire year. So it is not uncommon, especially with Cache Valley, for individuals to say, hey, I just want to be out of my home over the summer or over the winter. And so then we find an individual, traveling professor, building a house and just needs a place to land while their house is being finished, etc. Traveling doctors and nurses are another one that we get quite often. So that's the opportunity zone for you to have someone in your place just temporarily while you explore your other options.
Now, are there different benefits to doing either short-term or medium or long-term rental as far as the benefits to the homeowner?
Absolutely. With every risk type, there's rewards. So not only with a long-term rental, the property would be vacant. So if you're looking at a short solution and you'd like to leave your items behind, not your valuables, not your collectibles, but your couch, some beds, etc., that would be going after the short term or the medium term. Short term has a lot more wear and tear because you have a lot more people coming in and out, and they don't have the same eye of that light bulb's out. That's not working because they are quickly moving through the property. Where a medium term rental, they're going to still have that value of, I want a place that is clean and done up nicely. They're going to make sure that things are still functional and flowing. So the medium term rental would have less risk, in my opinion, just as an opportunity.
So just because you and I have talked before the show a little bit, so I'm sure some people are going to start thinking, well, what am I going to do with all my personal items? So you've had some suggestions. Obviously, you could rent a storage unit and put things in a storage unit, or
you could even just choose a room in your house and say, hey, this room's not going to be available to the renter. As long as we have access in case there's any emergency shutoffs or items that we need to get out of there in case of a fire. But overall, you could choose, hey, this is a 3-bedroom house. Bedroom number 3 is going to be off limits. I'll move all my valuable items there, lock it up, and therefore keep that secure.
Yeah, and we're already coming up on our first break here in a hurry, but really briefly, what is your experience in renting something out for medium term?
So the medium term rental is kind of an undisclosed market right now. We're a little ahead of the game here in Cache Valley. Most of my medium term rentals have been the traveling professor. I'm only here for 3 months doing a stint at Utah State. Or I'm a doctor that's coming to town once in a while, so I just need a place to land for a couple of months to see if this is where I'm going to permanently move. So far we've had a lot of luck, and it's actually been more profitable than our short-term rentals.
Wow, that sounds great. So we're coming up here on her first break. Adam, I do want to give you a chance in case somebody has any questions to mention your contact information.
Yeah, so you can always reach out to us at achieverentals.com or 385-855-4010.
Can you repeat that in slow?
Absolutely. You can reach out to us at achieverentals.com or 385-855-4010.
Thank you, Adam. We're at the end of our first segment. This is the Senior Moments Show. Again, if you'd like some information about our sponsor, the Empowering Seniors Group, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info. We're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
In today's world, we often think it's cheaper to order through the mail, right? In the case of prescriptions, that's not always true. Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, is often less expensive than mail order plans. Plus, you can talk to the pharmacist in person or on the phone. Who better to help navigate the confusing world of medicine than the pharmacists at Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram? Reed's trained pharmacists will help you navigate the maze of healthcare. Call 245-DRUG for more information. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Want an inexperienced surgeon?
Okay, nurse, I'm ready for the scalpel.
How about an inexperienced airline pilot?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain, and I'm terrified.
Experience matters, and we have it.
Hi, this is Sid Roeder with Achievement Realty. I am a senior real estate specialist.
I'd love to meet with you face-to-face and give you a free consultation and market analysis. Call me today at 512 6406. Then list it, sell it, and move on.
My name is John Brenchley. Last year, my father, Lynn, passed away. Our family misses him tremendously. From the first phone call we made to White Pine Funeral Services until he was laid to rest, White Pine helped us every step of the way. The staff was there to guide us through the entire process. They were kind, gracious, and their facilities are amazing. White Pine helped to make the difficult situation of losing my dad into a positive experience where we could remember him and celebrate his life.
White Pine Funeral Services, here when you need us most.
Did you know that one of the greatest threats to our quality of life is a fall? 1/3 of Americans 65 and older and 1/2 of those over 80 will fall this year. Many will never be the same again, and some will never return to their homes. This is Bruce at Comfort Care. One of the ways we can help people stay in their home is through our free in-home fall protection survey. Let us help you identify these fall risks. Call us at 754-7676. Comfort Care, 754-7676.
And welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. My name is Bryce Patton here with Sid Roeder, and we've been talking with Adam Tripp. Your trip to all sorts of adventure sounds like with Achievement Realty and Property Management. And we've been talking about options for people who might not want to sell their home and then move, or they might want to try different places. Adam, you left us with your contact information before, but if somebody calls you and is interested, what's that process look like?
Yeah, we're going to start that process by really evaluating what is your goals and needs. That's why option one is just maintaining the property. You just want to be away, take a sabbatical, hang out on the beach for 6 months, great. You don't need your place rented. Well, we're just going to turn into a maintenance opportunities for you. Maintaining your driveway, your snow removal, your lawn care, checking on the inside, making sure that everything is still functioning and moving for you. Option two, if you're looking for a little bit of income, well, and you want to pop back up, hey, I'd like to be there for 2 weeks at this time and 2 days over Christmas and 1 day over my kid's birthday. Well, that isn't really a short-term rental opportunity zone. So that would be where we would rent it out to multiple individuals if your home and community allows that. Option two would be a medium term. The property's still furnished. You're still getting an individual in there that's taking care of the property for a period of time while you're away. A medium term rental has different opportunities and risks, but it is our most profitable opportunity zone right now. And that's going to be for an individual that wants to leave their items behind still and take an adventure somewhere else. If they are terrified of anything being touched and anything being used, then that's when we want to look at the long-term rental opportunity zone, where even if it's 9 months, someone else is still having their own personal belongings in the home, and therefore your personal belongings have been taken out. It's what I get into with that is we try to get out of an individual, what is their blinders going to be like? Someone else will be living in their space and therefore touching their things, sleeping in their beds. And no one likes Goldilocks and the bear in the home. We want to make sure that we maintain your items as well. So we just try to get a temperament for where someone's at so we can assess what's the best opportunity zone for them.
Right. And I do want to interject. I know you said that already, but just to make that clear, a short-term rental in some cities definitely is not allowed. So that is most likely the first thing you're checking if anybody wants to go that route, because many cities either have restrictions on certain areas or do not allow short-term rentals at all.
And what we're saying there is reach out to us. We're really the experts on knowing whether or not it can convert. So even if you see an initial no, that doesn't always mean no.
Okay.
So can they just call you and schedule an appointment and you can go meet with them? Is there a cost to that?
There is no cost for us to investigate whether or not this is a good opportunity for you and us. No cost at all.
Awesome. And some things that I know you've touched on, some of the feelings an owner might have about their furnishings and their personal belongings and things like that. But another question that kind of came up in my mind that a listener might want to know is, screening, because there's a vast difference between short-term rental and long-term rental. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so with a short-term rental, there's really not a screening process outside of, hey, I won't accept a guest that's their very first stay. I won't accept a guest that has less than 5 reviews. I won't accept a guest that has less than a 4-star rating. So the screening process is really taken care of by the short-term rental company, and that leaves us just accepting or denying that stay.
So let me maybe just interject for someone who doesn't do this online. You're talking about the platforms, and I think I can name those: Airbnb and
VRBO, Marriott.
Yeah, so there's not really control on your end to make certain. I mean, you're not doing no criminal checks or anything of that sort.
All of that is handled by those platforms. Those platforms also have insurance in case an incident does happen, so that you can file with that insurance. If you're talking medium and long-term rentals, all of those backgrounds, credit checks, et cetera, happen in-house. So now we're able to secure a deposit, actually investigate the individual ourselves to make sure they're going to be the right fit.
Do you find that there's many denials on that you've run into, that you're like, oh, we're definitely not letting that family stay here?
Well, one of our favorite questions we like to ask is for a personal reference, your emergency contact. Your emergency contact is going to tell you way more about whether or not to rent than your personal reference. Mm-hmm. So that emergency contact, usually a family member, is going to be like, yep, don't rent to Joe. That's a bad idea. And, well, we're going to follow that intuition right there. Really, we rarely have problems. One of the things that we find the most is that there is a lack of opportunity. There's a lack of rentals. There's a lot of people here in Cache Valley and a lot of people wanting to come to Cache Valley, and there is not a lot of rentals that fit no-step access, short-term, medium-term timeframes that really are going to work for this population that is aging and getting older, and that's a very large amount of our population that is now shifting around the country.
And I bet our listeners are also interested to hear how you determine what a market typical rent would be.
Yeah, so our typical rent on a medium and long-term rental are based off of our own personal exploration databases, very similar to a CMA, comparative market analysis. We're really going off of, here's the inquiries we've gotten, here's the feedback we've gotten, here's the people that are interested. We have a list right now of people wanting a spot. So we base it off of that opportunity there. Where on a short-term rental, there's a lot more of the database algorithms. AirDNA is a website you can use, for example, to poll how is the rental market in the area.
So now when you go in and you're meeting with the family and you are looking at the house, are there certain homes you just say, hey, no, it's not going to work? Or do you say, hey, we just need to modify this, and we're good to go?
This is a two-way street. So as much as you may want it, we also have the ability to say this isn't going to be a good fit and take that analysis for ourselves of just, we would love to help you, but if the expectations aren't there, if you're expecting more than what we can deliver, it's not going to be a good fit. You're not going to feel happy at the end. It's not going to be a win-win. So yes, we would back out of that opportunity.
Okay.
Absolutely, that makes sense. Yeah, Adam, we're already coming up on our second break here, so I want to give you another chance to mention your location, your phone number, and website.
Yeah, so we're here in northern Utah. We are achieverentals.com. 385-855-4010. Adam Tripp for your trip to a new place.
Oh, and maybe you want to mention the location of the office.
We're on the corner of Church and Federal, right downtown Logan, 64 East Federal Avenue.
Awesome. We are the Senior Moment Show. We're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
At Maple Springs Senior Living in North Logan, we understand that entrusting the care of your loved one to someone else is a decision not taken lightly. That's why we go above and beyond to create a nurturing environment where your family becomes our family.
When I found Maple Springs, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. The staff here really cares, and Mom is thriving.
The activities and social events have brought so much joy to Dad's life. I can see a positive change every time I visit.
We know that your loved one's well-being is your top priority, and it's ours too. Learn more at maplesprings.living.com.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
No problem, sweetie.
I can't believe you're able to fit everything in that little sedan.
Bye!
When they move out, you can move on to a house that fits your life. It's time to live in a space that fits your family.
Hi, this is Sid Roeder with Achievement Realty.
Let me help you to find a home that suits your needs and is less to take care of. Save money or even make money on the sale of your current home. Call me today at 512-6406, then list it, sell it, and move on.
Did you know 1 in 3 people will visit a nursing home? Did you know that once there, they will stay there for an average of 3 years? Did you also know there are insurance options that can help cover this experience? Hi, I'm Tracy Ferris with Blue Water Health Insurance. It's not cheap to stay in a full-fledged nursing home. Long-term care insurance can help you or a loved one get the care they need and deserve. If you wait until you need it, you may be too late. Give me a call at 435-890-8155.
And welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. My name is Bryce Patton. I'm here with my co-host, Sid Roeder, as well as Adam Tripp from Achievement Realty and Property Management. Adam, thanks for all the great options that you guys provide for people that are maybe a little nervous to sell their home. Can someone just walk into the office and sit down and talk with you, or do they need to call and schedule an appointment, or how do you go about this?
Well, as much as we love our visitors and we love to say hi, we are a busy moving industry. So whether you stop by or you give us a call, we're going to schedule an appointment, specifically an appointment to go see the property. Though we could discuss opportunities with you at first, until we've seen the property, we really have a hard time making an idea of what the value is and how to go about it. I know we'd love to just say, yes, I have a 2-bedroom, single-level living over in this community. How much can I get? I don't know. Until I see it, it's like buying something online. I want to touch it. I want to feel it. I miss the stores. I miss them. So we would schedule an appointment.
Can you talk to people pretty quick? Maybe same week, or are you guys out quite a bit?
Turnaround is usually 2 or 3 days.
Oh.
So it is not out there far. We can get to you quickly. We just need to schedule it in so that we know. And there's more than just me. So there's other individuals that can also visit the property to get an overall analysis of what the opportunity could be.
Yeah. And also, I mean, just to make that clear, Adam and I can also help anyone to list their property and get it sold. And we've talked about a couple scenarios during the break, because sometimes it's actually dependent on what the market does. It's a sale that's not moving because things are slow, that cause an owner to decide, well, maybe I need to rent it out to have at least have some income. So maybe, Adam, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So there's times that you might have your home listed. You've been on the market 3 months. You've had limited showings. You need that income. So that would be a time where we would look at more of a long-term rental, a year-long rental, that we can place a tenant in there. And when it comes up on the year, we could reanalyze, is this now the time to sell? Has the market shifted and now it's the opportunity? Same with the medium and short term. You could have a medium term, choose to rent it out, take your vacation to Aruba, and decide, I'm moving to Aruba. At that point, we'd list the property up for sale and therefore assist you with your trip to a new place.
Now, do you ever put a home up for sale and then just do short-term rentals until it sells, or is that kind of off limits?
There is an incredibly hard ability to do short-term rentals and list at the same time because of availability of showings. If the goal is for you to sell, you want that home ready and willing when that buyer wants to see it. If that buyer wants 8 a.m. and you have to say, but the tenant checks out at noon, you've lost your opportunity zone. So, no,
Yeah,
preferably not.
I'll second it, because I mean, if you look at it from a buyer's side too, you just want to get in quickly. Sometimes vacant is easiest for buyers because then they can just hop in any old time and there's no schedule. And even with longer term tenants, having it for sale at the same time can be difficult because it's a disturbance for the tenant. I mean, that almost requires.
It's legally required to give a 24-hour notice to any tenant. Short-term, medium, long.
Right.
But a short-term tenant's really not going to want someone popping in the middle of their hotel stay, essentially. Mm-hmm. So really, there's some
different perspectives. And I mean, Adam and I understand that when somebody comes to our office, sometimes people don't think all these processes through from the other perspective. But if you put yourself in tenant's shoe and you knew the home was listed for sale and people wanted to get in there at different times a day during the week, I wouldn't love that.
No.
It's one of the reasons we love the fact we have no doors on our offices. We all just interact with each other constantly with, hey, you're talking to the client, but I need advice on this. We pop in with each other and really collaborate. That's why it's a much more team effort at Achievement.
No, I love it. Now, you talked earlier about a lot of people wanting to come and visit Cache Valley and the lack of rentals. If someone is wanting their family or somebody and they're coming to visit and they want that short-term rental or medium-term rental, how do they find that?
So there's plenty of websites out there, but really achieverentals.com is going to help you a lot more. Pick up the phone, call us. We might have a property listed that's listed as a long-term. Does not mean that there is not the opportunity for that to convert to a different type of rental. So we have a lot of different opportunities that require just communicating. Give us a call.
Yeah, we're on our last minute here. So, really, if I can just reinforce that Chief Rentals has options. And if you want to talk to Adam Tripp or his team, Adam, your contact information one more time.
Yeah, so reach out to us at 385-855-4010. Check out our website, achieverentals.com. And CacheValleyAgent.com would be the long-term versus the short-term. They link together, though. And again, I'm Adam Tripp at Achievement Realty and Property Management.
Thank you, Adam, for coming in today. And I think that was a fun show, maybe looking at real estate options from a different perspective. I'd like to mention our sponsor really quick, which is the Empowering Seniors Group. If you'd like to learn more about them, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info. We hope you tune in again next week.